Alright, welcome back to Hot Topics TV, y'all. Just go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click the bell next to the subscribe button so you are notified every time a new video goes up on Hot Topics TV. Damn it, man. Listen, if the topic is hot, we're on it. And this topic right here, pastor shoots himself and his wife after posting on Facebook he may not be a perfect man. I don't know what's behind all this, but I do got a lot to say, right? First, before I say what I got to say, let me give you the information. So, a pastor allegedly shot his wife and then shot himself after he posted on Facebook that he may not be the perfect man, but he was a family man. Louisiana pastor Danny Purnell Jr. Danny Purnell Jr. is 25 years old. He's accused of shooting his wife, Gabrielle Purnell, who was 27, in front of their children at a Hampton Inn hotel. The Macomb Police Chief Juan Cloy said he then turned the gun on himself after he shot his wife. He was trying to do a murder-suicide. The shooting happened around 3 p.m. on Wednesday, according to Cloy. 2 days earlier, Danny had posted on a Facebook page that he appeared to share with his wife a photo of the two of them along with their 3 beautiful children. He tagged the location as the Hampton Inn and Suites, Macomb in Mississippi, where the shooting took place. It was from that same location that he posted saying he may not be perfect, but he's a good man. He's a family man. I may not be a perfect man, but I will always be a family man, is exactly what the post said, quote unquote. Damn, how you gonna always be a family man if you're dead, buddy? How are you going to always be a family man if you murk your wife in front of your children and then leave the children to live with that type of a memory? What kind of family man was... I'm trying to figure out what is up with this pastor, but I'll get into all that in a minute. Okay, I may not be a perfect man, but I'll always be a family man, is what the post said, along with hashtag husband, father, pastor, and hashtag flawed yet favored. See, Danny and his wife, they were transported to the University of Mississippi Medical Center. Their conditions have not been disclosed so far. Did they survive? Are they dead? We don't know. The pastor faces an aggravated assault charge. This is according to news report. I'm pretty sure those charges are going to change to something else. I don't know if he shot her in the foot or if he shot her in the head or the arm. I don't know if he shot himself in the belly or in the leg or in the fingers. We don't know. This is all that was given. He shot the wife, then shot himself. Their children are now currently in the custody of Child Protective Services. And guess what? After you do something like that, like shoot your spouse, then shoot yourself in front of your children, you are probably never going to get those children back again. So, a photograph that was published by the Enterprise Journal actually showed the police tape that was blocking the hallway of the hotel, and beyond the tape, there were blood splatters and a pillow and towels that were thrown across the floor to soak up the blood, I guess. The motive of the shooting has not yet been established. Nobody knows why he did it. Danny, he's a pastor at Bright Morning Star Missionary Baptist Church. He posted pretty often on Facebook about self-growth. Yeah. Now, at the age of 25, this is one of his posts. He said, at the age of 25, I often hear that I am far beyond my years. However, I never get satisfied with where I am. I'm constantly looking for more. He wrote that on April 16th. People with small minds, They will lock they people with small minds, they will keep you locked up into what can fit into their heads. The God I serve does not have a limit, and I'm staying faithful because I know my cup shall run over. He posted that as well. And the week prior to that, he posted on his wife's birthday, calling her, quote unquote, my queen and the woman that I love and owe my life to. Now that's pretty deep. And a week later, you're shooting her and shooting yourself. Now, Tech Wizard said, a lot sure does happen behind the camera in virtually all relationships, regardless if it's a Christian or a non-believer's nuptial commitments. In the line of my job, couples stay together these days just to raise the kids. Sad, but it's the truth. Ain't nobody staying together for love no more. They stay together to pay the bills. They stay together to raise the kids. They stay together to keep whatever level of comfort they have outside of all the miserableness that's hidden in that relationship. And they try to keep all that stuff behind closed doors. Paint a pretty picture for the world to see when they step outside. Like this couple, pastor and his wife and the children. Everybody is well dressed. Everybody looks nice, well taken care of, well fed, I might add. They don't look like they missed too many meals. They don't look like they live in a shack somewhere or they're doing bad financially. And that's the picture you want to paint. The children are smiling. And of course, mom and dad are mustering up a smile as well for every picture. So you're under the impression that this is couples goals, right? Marguerite Ferns says, I always say no one knows what happens behind closed doors, as he might be a pastor, a so-called man of God, showing everyone that he is kind, caring, and loving, but maybe he abused his wife behind closed doors. I know a Roman Catholic priest who on everyone's face is the best thing in every way. But, he's a molester, right? He's a molester. I know a Roman Catholic priest who on everyone's face is the best thing ever, but unfortunately, I got to see another side of him. The money-grabbing scam that he had done to get money for himself by lying that his family, one by one in India, are sick and needed urgent money, which of course he did not have, being a priest. As my sister, who unfortunately domestic abused me, died, we found that she sent him well over £3,000. But when we reported it to the parish priest and others, no one believes that this sweet, caring priest actually did this. He never declared any money received to the parish council. So you see, no one knows what happens behind closed doors. Another person says, another pastor preaching the Bible but failing to live by it. Thou shalt not kill. How about that one? And gluttony. Yet the church preaches so much hate but fails to address tolerance and human weakness. This is sad for the children too. Humpty Dumpty left a comment that says, they say that you are what you eat. Maybe he is pasta and not pastor. I found that funny. I hope his wife recovers, and I hope the kids get to deal with something less traumatic than this. Why is it that all these poised, holier than thou art characters are rich, overfed, and disgusting? What was it in the Bible that said about greed, gluttony, and killing people again? Remind me. What did it say about greed, gluttony, and killing people? One more comment I'm going to read for you, then I'm going to give you my take. There's absolutely no justification for what he did. He had no thought for his children, seeing their mother's life being threatened by a weapon from their so-called loving preacher dad. These so-called that are called to preach, they're here for quick cash ventures. When folks don't want to work a real job and they want power, this is one of the places that they go. Go become a preacher. Here's my thing. First of all, obviously this brother got a lot going on. And me being someone that's way older than 25, I don't know not one 25-year-old that doesn't have some serious issues going on in their life. 25 years old, you're still trying to figure the world out. And at that stage, you still think that you know everything already and nobody can tell you nothing. You're in that limbo phase of your life, right? You're trying to grow. And he already has a family with children that are big enough. That tells me that he probably became a father around 19, 20 years old. We don't know what the cause is. He might have found out that one of those kids aren't really his. Wifey has been unfaithful. I don't know. Or wifey might have caught him on social media somewhere. You know, a lot of these guys get into the double lifestyle living. They want to have a man on the side and then have a wife at home with kids. And then when they get found out, they want to go kill people and kill themselves. We don't know what the cause of all this is, but something doesn't sit right to me about a 25-year-old governing a whole congregation and preaching. Like my grandfather used to say, at 25, you don't know your head from your ass. Life is just beginning for you. They say life begins at 30, and he wasn't even there, right? He's 25, his wife's 27. They have children that look to be like 6, 7, 8 years old, those kind of ages, which tells me they both became parents at a pretty young age, right? And they've been dealing with that and trying to grow a church, being a head pastor at such a huge congregation. And here they are. They ended up in a hotel rather. The Hampton Inn and Suites is pretty nice. I was wondering what they were doing there. Maybe they were traveling for business, or maybe that is where he wanted to carry this out, not necessarily carry it out at home, the murder-suicide. But why do it in front of the kids? It shows his mind state, because here you are telling yourself and telling the world that you are a family man, and you're always a family man. And although you're not perfect, you will always be a family man, which means you love your family, you're putting your family first. And while you're sending this post out, you're loading a gun and turning it on your wife and then on yourself in the presence of your children. Again, 25 years old. Does he even understand what family man means? Maybe he's in a relationship that he's trapped in, and this is not who he really wants to be with. Like, you start out really young with somebody, and then halfway down the road, you start to discover yourself. And you're like, well, I don't think this is where I should be. Maybe he's having conflicting feelings. These are all my assumptions. But at the end of the day, one thing we see for sure and know for sure is that his actions says contrary to what his words say. And I firmly believe that his life is probably contrary to the image he portrays up front. But guess what? That's most pastors today. Most pastors today. This is why the younger generation isn't even messing with the church. You can't get them to go to church to save your life. Why? Because they've realized that there's a lot of hypocrisy involved in the church, that there's a lot of do as I say, not as I do, that there are a lot of messed up individuals, especially elders who should know better, that are in the church, that defend slackness and that defend bad things. And then I'll close this by saying this. One thing about this religion is, and I've always found fault with this, this religion allows all its believers to do whatever the hell they want to do. And they have it in the back of their mind that all they have to do is get to a place where they say, Lord, forgive me. I'm sorry. I surrender. And they're forgiven. And they believe that wholeheartedly. So there's nothing under the sun that they cannot be forgiven for. Which means, imagine getting up and thinking every day, there is nothing under the sun, that under the sky, that I cannot be forgiven for by my God. If I become a child molester, I can be forgiven. If I become a murdering rapist, I can be forgiven. If I rob, steal, kill, pillage, plunder, I can be forgiven. Then there's nothing stopping me from being immoral and as immoral could ever be, because I know that I'll be forgiven. Hell, if I shoot my wife and kill her in front of my children, I can be forgiven. Right? So with that in mind, they do crazy things hoping that their God will forgive them, or knowing in their mind that their God will forgive them. I'm going to leave this one right here. I hope she survives, and I hope she gets to take the children and run as far away as possible. I hope he gets a whole lot of jail time, and then I hope he also gets the help that he needs, because clearly, this is a confused man that needs help. I still want to know what was the motive. Leave your comments in the comment section below. And like I said before, hit that bell so you are notified every time an update is posted, because we'll be staying close to the story and we're going to try to figure out what the motive was as more comes out. Hope she survives. Catch y'all on the next video. I'm out. Peace.